talk about slam bidding, and I know now it's already been more than a year that some of you attended the slam bidding workshop, in which I put together this packet that you're looking at today. That was an all-day workshop, and so there's obviously a ton to say about slam bidding, and we're just going to hit some highlights today, and in particular, we just want to talk about some general slam approach items that I hopefully will make slam bidding easier for you, and then dig into a couple of conventions which were part of the workshop, but which you probably haven't added to your convention card yet, or haven't used, things that maybe don't come up as often but are really handy when you get specific hand types. So that's kind of the plan for today. And we want to start with a little bit about cue bidding, and a couple items on key card. And I know that 1430 Roman key card is something that you all have been doing for a while. So we don't need to give you that structure. But there are a couple details that we want to hit on with your key carding that are part of the structure, that maybe you didn't realize were part of the structure. And then along the way, you'll get to see a couple of areas where regular key carding ends up being a little bit of a problem when your fit is in a minor suit, and how we can deal with some of that. So keep in mind that when you use key card, it is not designed to propel you to slam. It exists to keep you out of bad ones. That's why we have it. This is supposed to be your safety net, so that we don't end up in slams that we shouldn't be in. That doesn't mean that we're going to be able to get to every slam that we'd like to be in. And so, sometimes we end up with kind of a combination of cue bidding followed by key carding. Sometimes we don't have to fool with cue bidding. Sometimes we have hands that are appropriate just for jumping right into cue bidding and making sure that we're not missing two key cards. And then there's this other matter of the Queen of Trump, and kings, and that's kind of what we want to get into today. So one thing that I want to be sure that we emphasize: a couple of situations where you should not use key card. One is you have a void, and the problem you run into is if you have a void and you ask for key cards, if it turns out that your side has all the key cards, that partner has all the key cards you're missing, that's not going to be a problem, right? But what if partner shows you one key card and there are two that you would like to know about, or three that you would like to know about? Well, now it becomes important, because if that key card is in your void, and presumably, we're playing in a suit, right? Because if we're key carding off a suit. So we're planning to play this thing in a suit, not no trump. And if partner has an ace where you have a void, that's just a totally wasted value, right? It doesn't help you. In the meantime, what you really need to know is, does partner have those, as we would call them, cover cards in the suits where you are either have no honors or you have intermediate honors like kings and queens? Do we have the ace to fill out that suit, sort of thing? And so if you use regular key card with a void, you may not get the information you need. Now, what we're going to get into a little bit later is we are going to talk about exclusion key card. And that's what will help you with your voids. The other thing is we generally want to avoid using key card if we have two quick losers in an unbid suit. In other words, we lack second round control. If you have an ace or a void, you have first round control, right? If you have king or a singleton, you have second round control. What we don't want to do is just go blasting off into a slam when none of those exist. And we either have only small cards in the suit, or the suit is only had queen doubleton or queen third or jack doubleton or jack third, one of those, because when we have one of these scientific type of auctions where we exchange a lot of information, one of the drawbacks is we are giving the opponents that same information. Well, if you advertise a weakness somewhere, they're probably not going to have a hard time banging down an ace and king, or leading away from a king, knowing that you're missing an ace in a suit. And we don't want to be in slam if an ace and king are going to get cashed on us here real quickly off the top, right? Now, if you do have quick losers in a suit, but somebody Q bids to show something in that suit, yeah, after that, if you want to use key card, that's fine. After somebody has given you a Q bid in what might be the problem suit, then you can use it later. So when we say don't use key card with two quick losers, we somewhere, and we say two quick losers in an unbid suit, right? So if your partner opens a club, but you find a spade fit and you end up key carding off of spades, you don't worry about the club suit, even if you have a really weak holding there, because partner opened that suit. Now, does partner guaranteed a top honor? No, but generally we say if partner has bid the suit, that is good enough. That qualifies. Because if partner has some length in that suit, then partner rates to have a high honor in that suit. And the opponents are a lot less likely to lead that suit too, right? So if we find ourselves key carding, and here's our structure with 1 or 4 key cards, 0 or 3 key cards, 2 without the queen or 2 with the queen. The Queen of Trump is a very important card. Anytime we have an 8 or 9 card fit, the queen is extremely important. Generally, if we have a 10 card or better fit, we don't worry about the queen. Because if we don't have it, it's probably dropping anyhow. And it's very unlucky if it doesn't. So when we're thinking about going to slam, and we want to stay out of bad slams, what qualifies as a bad slam? Well, certainly missing any 2 key cards is bad, right? One of the missing key cards might be the King of Trump, and it might be finessable, but that's not a slam we want to be in. So if we're missing 2 key cards, we want to stay out of slam. We also, and again, this applies to 8 and 9 card fits, but if you have a 10 card fit or better, don't worry about it. Where the Queen of Trump becomes very important is when we're missing only 1 key card. A lot of times if we're missing only 1 key card, we still want to be in our slam. But the Queen of Trump becomes very important. Because again, we don't really want to be in a slam that's on a finesse, right? If we need to finesse for the queen. And if we're missing Jack or 10 in the suit, it's not even a finesse anymore, right? Now it has to drop. So it may not even be a finessable position. So these are 2 slams that we want to try and stay out of. So you want to know about the Queen of Trump a lot of times. The question is, what if you don't get one of these 2 answers, right? If you bid your 4-no and partner bids 5 hearts or 5 spades, you get a clear answer about the queen. Also, if you're the one who bids 4-no and the Queen of Trump is in your hand, I trust that you can figure out whether or not you have it. Cheryl's expressing some doubt.
We just had one of these exact things yesterday, and I everything.
Can
Yeah.
you identify the queen of all four suits,
We had
especially
two
the
quick
major
losers,
suits?
2 quick losers, but because we didn't advertise, and they had an ace,
Yeah.
and the other one had the king, and it wasn't advertised, they didn't drop, so I got
Well-
7, where I should have only gotten 5.
There are a lot of hands like that. The 5 or 7 hands. Either they take their 2 tricks off the top or they don't get them.
Yeah.
Because all of your points are other places, and then you have a long suit that you can run and you can take some pitches. So the question is, if we're not looking at the queen in our hand and partner gives us a response up here that neither confirms nor denies the queen of trump, how are we supposed to find out about it? So a lot of times, but not always, you can still ask. All right, so let's say our suit is hearts. And partner gives you a response of 5 clubs. All right. So let's say you know this to be 1 key card, and that you're looking at 3 key cards. You've taken control of this auction. You've got the bigger hand. So you know you're only missing 1 key card. So you still think maybe you'd like to be in slam. But you're not looking at the queen of hearts, and partner hasn't told you whether or not she's got it. How do you ask?
5 diamonds.
All right, so we have this next step available here, right? So the next available step, if it's not trump, and that's the key here, the next available step asks, partner, do you have the queen of trump? Now there are different ways that you can respond to this. So if you go back to 5 hearts, that denies it, right? And that means you should probably stop there. If you're missing a key card and the queen of trump, even if 6 is makeable on the lie of the cards, that's probably a slam you don't want to be in. Because you can't have the queen as a loser with another key card out there and come to your 12 tricks. If you do have it, you could jump to slam, right? That would be one option. Or you could make another bid, and any bid that would bypass 5 hearts must show the queen of trump, right? Anything higher than 5 hearts, if you're taking your side past 5 of your trump suit, possibly missing a key card and the queen, if you're going to go past 5, you've got to have the queen of trump. And so what you can do, and this is where we're going to link it to our king ask, if you have the queen of trump, you show your cheapest king along the way. And that's what these other bids would mean. So if over 5 diamonds you bid 5 spades, that would show the king of spades. It's a specific king show that also guarantees the queen of trump. Same thing with 6 clubs, right? If you're bidding 5 spades or 6 clubs, you're showing the king in that suit, and obviously you are committing your side to a small slam at that point, right? Because now we're going to have to go to 6 hearts. Now, what you might be thinking of is, well, isn't that why this exists, right? Isn't that what we have 5-no for? 5-no would also ask for kings, and we do want you in the habit of asking for and responding specific kings rather than number of kings. Why are we asking for specific kings?
Because we have everything else. We have all the key cards and the queen.
Okay, so if we were ever to use 5-no, this is very important, right? It sounds obvious, but it's actually not. I've seen people bid 5-no trump asking for kings, And yeah, that bid didn't get them in trouble yet. They're not necessarily beyond the best makeable spot, because obviously after 5 no trump, you can still stop at 6 of something, right? But if you ever use 5 no trump to ask for kings, you guarantee all the key cards and the queen of trump. Your 5 no, yes, you're asking, it's an asking bid. You want to know about kings. But because you are using this and not just signing off or going through the queen ask, you are saying, yes, we've got them all, and we're that close. Why are we doing this? We're interested in a grand, right? I've seen people bid 5 no trump asking for kings when they were missing a key card. Now, maybe you wanted to practice your specific king ask, but you're doing, but I mean, if you're already missing a key card, I don't think you want to be in a grand slam, right? So asking for kings isn't really going to help you. I mean, yeah, maybe you'll find out, but if you're already off a key card or the queen of trump, you shouldn't be considering a grand slam. So 5 no does guarantee, yes, we have all the key cards. But notice that approach is a little different from what's going on down here. If you ask for the queen, do you guarantee all the key cards? No, you actually don't have to. So if you go through the queen ask, you have one of 2 objectives. Either A, yes, you do have all the key cards, and you want to know about the queen and specific kings for the purposes of possibly bidding a grand slam, or you are missing 1 key card, but you don't want to give up on small slam, provided your side has the queen of trump. So the queen ask is twofold. The pure king ask up here with 5 no, you guarantee all the key cards. Here you don't. But partner doesn't know what you have in mind. Partner knows you're asking for the queen, hopefully. But they don't know whether you're asking because you want to pursue a grand or you just want to make sure that you aren't in a bad small slam. So that's the difference. And hopefully this will deal with most of your needs when we're figuring out, the last part of our slam picture. And if you will go ahead and provide the additional information when partner asks for the queen, if you have it, this is an opportunity, without getting too high, this is an opportunity for you to say, yeah, I've got the queen of trump, and oh, by the way, I've got this in case you were looking for a grand.
In your example, what was the trump suit?
So here we said hearts was the trump suit.
Oh, okay.
All right. So notice that could be a problem, right?
Yeah.
Because what if our auction changes a little bit? What if the key card response was in fact 5 diamonds? Now this is not a problem if spades is your suit, but what if hearts is your suit? If you go back to 5 of the suit, what you're normally telling partner is, hey, we're off 2 key cards, we need to stop right here, right? So you don't quite have bidding space to do everything. This is never a problem when spades are trump, because you have all of the steps you need. But when hearts are trump and partner gives you a key card response of 5 diamonds, you can't ask for the queen of trump. So the question is, what do you do? What do you do when partner bids 5 diamonds and this tells you, hey, we're off 1 key card and the queen of trump is still a question mark? Well, Now you guess. Do we play 5 or do we try 6? Do you think partner's a favorite to have the queen? You know, is there any way that you can deduce that? Say, well, you know, partner almost surely has it, you know, and because I've got all these other cards and partner did open the bidding and they've got something over there besides, you know, if we got a 5 diamond response, presumably that was 0 key cards, right? Partner didn't have any key cards. Surely she's got the queen of trump. But yeah, scientifically, you can't really figure it out. You don't have any way to ask for the queen. So you've just got a decision to make there. If I were in a 9-card fit, I would probably go ahead and do it. If I were only in an 8-card fit, I'd be a little worried. So that might be one deciding factor for you, right? Because at least if you're in a 9-card fit, there's a better chance that queen is going to drop, even if you don't have it. So that's kind of a tough one. Doesn't come up very often, but a little bit problematic if it does.
Quick question. I've seen online where if you know you have a 10-card trump fit, you answer as if you have the queen.
Yes.
You go with that? Okay.
Yes, that is standard. Has everybody heard that? Did everybody catch the question?
No. I sent you that.
All right.
Alert call.
So now I didn't see the full hand. I think you told me you had the queen of trump in this situation, right? So, but let's say we won't give you the whole hand, but let's say you're a responder.